the moment, which gives you an idea that it is still pretty light. No chance that anybody will start on wet tyres if the rain continues at this level. But the forecast does say, as we get closer to the start time, it should intensify.
Yeah, thanks very much, Jack. Yeah, I can just see 100,000 people are getting sore necks at the moment because they're all looking skywards to see what will happen weather-wise. Most of the weather forecasts when we arrived at the track this morning were suggesting strong rain at around 2 p.m. Local time. Well, safe to say we have plenty of home crowd heroes this weekend, one of them being Johann Zarco. The French fan would love it, wouldn't they, if Zarco was in the mix at the front of this Grand Prix. Let's get the thoughts of Johann, who is with Jack.
Johann, over 300,000 people here over the course of the weekend, all cheering you on as you just do some final talks with helmet technicians to get sorted. This weather not ideal at the moment. Looks as though the rain will get heavier as we get closer to 2 o'clock. Right now, what are you thinking?
I'm waiting. We are on the grid, but there are still 20 minutes to go. And it seems it's gonna rain. Big clouds are coming, so we are just waiting. And right now we could go with slick, but already having the drops on the screen and on the helmet doesn't give a big confidence. But I think it's gonna rain. So if we can put the rain tires straight away, it will be less stressful, and then we will have to keep the focus to the end.
Good luck.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks, Jack. Thanks very much to LCR Honda rider Johann Zarco. Well, you just sort of sense the sort of tension in his voice there, couldn't you, as everybody just kind of waiting to see what happens with the weather.
Yeah, here's the grid lineup, and everybody on our starting grid currently indicated to be starting on soft front and rear Michelin dry tyres. I guess the weather forecast playing pretty heavily into that, because you might not need those dry tyres for very long once the race gets underway. The majority of the riders who spoke yesterday after the sprint said that they have no concerns of that soft rear tyre going full race distance if it were to be taken in dry conditions.
A pretty spectacular air show going overhead for the Le Mans fans here. I'm not sure I've really got the head or the stomach for something like that, to be perfectly honest. I'm much more happier and content when I've got both feet planted firmly on terra firma. Giving us a great view, though, of this Bugatti circuit as the drone camera then peels towards the grid. We're about, what, 10 minutes away from the spectacular, rousing rendition of the Marseillaise, which will have extra significance and meaning, with Fabio Quartararo starting from pole position. And perfect timing, let's see from Fabio down on pole with Jack.
Fabio, a record crowd all wanting to celebrate later on, but these conditions less than ideal. Right now, how are you feeling ahead of the race?
Yeah, you know, it's Le Mans, it's always tricky condition, and you know, having the rain just before the start is always a mess. You never know if it's dry or wet, but we will have to give our maximum and try to see if we can make a great race today.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Fabio Quartararo, for talking to us. Thanks very much to Jack. He's not going to run off the grid again, is he?
No, well, at least he knows the penalty now if he does that. That has been confirmed during the week. If anybody does leave the grid and has to leave the warm-up lap from the pit lane, we do now know with great clarity the sanction. You'll take your grid position and serve a double long lap penalty in the race. So if Marc Marquez is plotting another runner from the grid, he knows what awaits him.
What did you make of that? I'm sure you're watching, Austin. I mean, what did you think of when Mark went full Usain Bolt off the grid?
Well, I thought it was an absolute touch of brilliance until afterwards everyone explained what penalty he should have got. But yeah, he also turned around and did say that he did expect other people to follow, and once it's above 10 riders, then, you know, that's a red flag. But yeah, wily old Mark, and that's what I mean by he's just always got something up his sleeve. There's always something there that he's just thinking about how he can get an edge, which is, you know, why he's one of the best in the world.
Yeah, well, he's had the edge so far this weekend, hasn't he? Certainly when it looks at the race pace.